Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah. Oh, you connected? Well, yeah, it's me. You want to connect to the meeting? I'll send you the link.
Hey, what's up, going? You hear me?
Yeah, 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 I can hear you, bro. What's up? What's up?
Not much, man.
Still doing that CAD?
Yeah, bro. And then like Mikey just hit me up out of nowhere because man, there's just so much drama going on.
Yeah, I understand, brother. Hi, Sandy. Love your background.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for
It's my
joining.
summer home.
Woo. I'm excited. Oh, looks like we're getting some rain again over here. How's it over by you, Sandy?
It looks a little cloudy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
Hopefully,
had we
we
had
need it.
hail yesterday. Oh my goodness, that was the hail didn't hit us apparently, but I've seen a lot of videos on Facebook of people getting hit by hail. Ah, can you imagine just being outside and getting stuck in hail? That's kind of scary.
In Florida, they would be able to handle that.
Yeah.
They can't handle anything in Florida. But we got thunder. We just didn't get any rain.
Oh, okay.
We need it because the lawns are brown because of lack of rain.
Yeah. Well, looks like it's rain season coming up, so definitely be getting that. One second, let
As
me.
long as it's not a hurricane, I'm happy.
Hurricane, you know we're ready for hurricanes in Florida. Everyone, let's have a hurricane party.
Well,
Victor, how's the weather by you?
Oh, it's pretty stormy. It just kind of stopped finally. Like it just, and the sun just came out of nowhere. But it's good because my plants got some water. So
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
good.
I
They
got
call
but
Florida the Sunshine State. I think we should change the name to the bipolar state.
yeah,
yeah. No, that's good though. And
I
Yeah.
plant
Florida
some
eyesore.
cucumbers.
And you're what part of Florida are you at, Sandy?
Kissimmee, right outside Orlando,
Oh, okay.
where all the traffic is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Anytime I drive through there, it's not if I sometimes I take 192 to get to
Oh
Orlando
God.
and I'll go through Kissimmee and St. Cloud. St. Cloud is beautiful. Driving through St. Cloud, amazing. But once I get to Kissimmee, insane traffic.
I'm trying to move out because it's ridiculous. It's every day it's just getting another apartment complex goes up. Like,
Oh
where
yeah,
are
that's how
those
it is
people
here.
gonna go?
Yeah.
Who's gonna live in them? I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah.
So who's gonna live in them? Because I tell you, people that are just coming into the country can't afford them.
Yeah. It's
My
there's not a lot more jobs going up, but there's a lot more apartments. And
my
the
brother's
amount
on. My brother is delusional. He thinks, because he had an apartment for $500 a month, like 900 years ago, that's what it should be. I'm like, good luck with that. You can't even get it a
Yeah.
bathroom for $500 a month. It's just like I'm looking at them and they're going $1,700 for a studio. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. My first apartment was 605 for a one bedroom, and that was fantastic now that I think about it. Now for a one bedroom, it's over 1,000.
It's like almost two.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I mean, the wage we make hasn't gone up in comparison to the actual prices of products.
No, actually, they cut jobs. People get laid off, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all good though. Welcome, Mom. My mom's in here.
So,
Yeah.
I
Mom, you
don't
gonna
know.
show your face or you're just listening? Okay, okay. You just gotta wear a shirt. You can wear whatever you want as long as it's not on
It
camera.
depends on how old your kids are, because if your kids are young, you usually look like crap because you have no time to take care of yourself.
Oh yeah, that's kind of why I'm scared to have kids because I know there's a period of time where people go through a zombie phase and I'll see parents and they just look drained.
I don't know how
How
these
they
people,
look.
some of these people do it with 10 and 12 kids. I'm like, oh my God, I had enough problem with two. You know,
I don't know. Maybe they're vampires. Maybe they just don't sleep.
I don't know, but kill me now.
Yeah.
Love my kids, but kill me now. They're all grown up, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. So we will get started in a few minutes. I'm expecting a few more people. But if it's just this is great because I'm looking forward to doing this more on the regular. This is my first time actually doing a Zoom webinar. I did a speech in person about in January, and it went great. I had a fantastic time. And now I'm doing this to help me connect with people that are outside of where I live.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Victor, I actually know Sandy from an improv class that I meet at on Saturday mornings with this speaker, great speaker, Mark Guy. And I got the chance to meet her in person at conference.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
How,
that was
how was
awesome.
conference, by the way? Like it passed already, right?
Conference was great. I mean, it wasn't the best compared to some of the other ones I've been to, but it was great to connect with people. I mean, amazing networking and meeting people from all over Florida.
How
Nice.
many conferences have you gone to?
Oh man, I used to be the logistics manager for the district. So I've been to, and they also used to do two per year
Yeah.
when I first started. So I've been to, I want to say at least six or seven.
Did you go to Voices Around the World?
Nice.
Voices around the world? No, I don't think so. What is that one?
That was one of during right after the pandemic. That was the
Oh, no, no,
conference.
no. Yeah,
Because I
no.
was the conference chair for that one.
Okay, nah, I haven't been to that one. How was it?
That one, I thought it was great because it was mine. But I noticed and I thought maybe I should just be an overcritical, but like I noticed they're getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the way they do things. It's just like they cut a
Yeah.
lot of corners this year.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Like even just the setup was
But
not.
the reveal for next year is usually a big, huge thing. And it was like, it's like, okay, there's no energy there, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they revealed Las Vegas?
I don't remember
The
that.
one for the one for Las Vegas was right before mine. And
Yeah.
they had a reveal for that one, and we had the president of Toastmasters worldwide there from
Yeah.
India.
Oh, wow.
And and so they came up as male strippers and he about died. Because he's Indian. He doesn't have
Hey, Shavine.
he was like under the table.
Yeah. Wow. Oh
Like
man.
he shares.
Yeah. Hey, Shavine, welcome.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Very good, man.
All right, awesome, awesome. Right on time, brother. Let's see if anyone's waiting to get in. All right, first, I'm going to get started by saying thank you to all of you for being here. I'm going to start by just going around and just introduce yourself. What do you do? What are you looking to learn from this? Have you ever meditated before? We'll start with Shivane. Let's go.
Fellow fellow Toastmasters, welcome guest.
Oh,
What
no,
is
it's not Toastmasters. It's just,
I
on
thought,
my own
okay.
webinar, but there's a lot of Toastmasters here.
Yeah, I saw the DTM there, so I was like, oh, I was like, damn. It's the first time I actually been to a Zoom workshop, I guess. And my name's Shivane. I'm from Canada, Vancouver, and I'm 21. And that's all. I don't still a student, and I have other side jobs, hobby jobs I do. Soccer coach and boxing coach. So pretty much that.
Shavane's awesome. He's a speaking contest champion and he's a marathon runner. Amazing guy. All right, let's go with mom or yeah, Sharon.
Hi, my name is Sharon Montano, and I'm Victor's mother. And I'm proud to be here to support him today. And welcome everybody for joining.
All right, iPhone 22, Victor.
Sorry, I don't know how to change this, but I'm Victor. I'm the other one. Just came here to get to try to get more in touch with myself, how we're always seeking to always better ourselves, so I'm just here to try to do that and get some knowledge over here off of Victor. I always like Victor's talks because it always brings me down to in the moment. So, and reminds me of, yeah, just really positive. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, let me see. We're just introducing ourselves, so you could just introduce yourself. Mom, make sure you beat the mic.
Yeah.
All right, please. Nisi, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, yeah, just introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What brings you here?
My name is my original name is Denise. What brings me here is you. You sent me the link and definitely interested in learning a little bit more on your meditation practices and yeah, I'm just here for brief information and yeah.
Awesome. All right, last but not least, Priscilla, just introduce yourself a little bit. Priscilla, you there? Oh, she might be busy doing something right now. All right, let's get started. Before I get started, I am going to share an image. Hold on, let's see. This is my first Zoom webinar, so bear with me. I'm having fun with this. All right. So first, I want to show you some famous failures. Can you guys see that? These are famous failures. Michael Jordan, if you didn't know, he was actually cut from his high school basketball team because his coach said that he didn't work hard enough. Steve Jobs' story is amazing. Let me see if I can get rid of that echo. Are you guys hearing an echo or is it just me? No? Okay, good. Steve Jobs, his story is fascinating because can you believe that he was actually fired from the company he created? Did any of you guys know that? He was fired from Apple. And while he was fired, Apple started going downhill. He actually started another company called Next, became an advisor to the CEO, got Apple to buy Next, and got the CEO fired, became the CEO of Apple again. And that's before he created the iPhone, founded iTunes, and created the iPod that was so revolutionary at the time. Walt Disney, his newspaper fired him saying that he lacked original ideas. Albert Einstein, Oprah Winfrey, Eminem. These guys are all famous failures. And I want to share with you that I am also a failure because during a period of time in my life, I was doing horrible. I'm going to take it back about 2 years ago. I was going through severe depression. And because of that, I was addicted to drugs, severely addicted to drugs. I was smoking methamphetamines and I was up for several days when the most shocking point of my life happened. I got arrested for a crime that I didn't even remember committing. Have you guys ever seen those TV with people on cops that are naked that commit crimes? That was me. It's painful to say that was me. But at the same time, I am thankful to God for that moment because that moment was a pivotal shift for me in my life. I was definitely going down the wrong path. I had a lot of ideas in my mind of how I wanted to change the world, but because of the path I was on, I could not effectively do anything. I'm still fight battling that, but at the same time, I am on a forward trajectory. I am no longer addicted to drugs. I am no longer depressed. The depression was one of the aspects.
I did my chores today.
Yeah, you're gonna get your
Oh,
$10.
1 second. Mom, can you mute yourself?
Sure. I'm sorry.
But that was a very pivotal moment for me. After that, I was able to finish my bachelor's degree in organizational management, and something I've taken a major risk for something that I believe could change the world. And I'm actually going to show that to you guys. This is something huge that I'm working on. Here it is. Ta-da! Does anyone know what this is? Anyone want to take a guess? This is actually a patent that I am working on for a workout machine.
We can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it? Hold on 1 second. I thought
You have to share the screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I did share the screen. Where is it? Moment, I'm about to share it. Here we go. Can you guys see that? Not yet.
Can't see it.
You can't see it?
We see it. We saw it.
Oh,
We
you
can
saw it?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yes. This is actually a patent that I'm working on for a workout machine that is portable and it will allow the user to perform any type of exercise and anywhere. Yes. Savin, you would love it. I'm currently working with InventHelp on it. And I want to share how I actually came to having this invention idea, because this is going to lead right into what I'm going to be sharing next, which is concerning the subconscious and the unconscious mind, which I believe is direct connection to spirit, God, the subconscious. It's all called different terms, but it's all the same thing. And this knowledge can dramatically improve your life. It was about 12 years ago now, man. I'm getting old. Oh my goodness. That's why I shaved my head so you guys can't see the gray hair that's going to eventually be coming. But I was on a flight to New York 12 years ago. And what happens when you're on a flight? Back in those days, they didn't have the little TV where you could pick your music and your movies and Spotify. I recently went on a flight to New York. They're great. This was back when there was nothing, no TV, no headphones, just straight boredom. And on this flight to New York, this idea came into my head that was revolutionary. I saw a person working out on a fitness machine that I've never seen before. It's like, whoa, how is this even possible? Now, I want you guys to think of something. We've all been to science class here, right? Are you guys familiar with the law of thermodynamics? All right. The first law is that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. And a second concept that I want you guys to understand is that thoughts are a form of energy. Therefore, anytime that you have certain insights, if nothing can be created or destroyed, is that brand new or did it come from somewhere? This is something that I want you guys to ponder. But this idea came into my mind, and I actually went to InventHelp, which is a company that helps people produce inventions if they're not engineers. And I paid for a patent search, and when they did the patent search, they said that this idea wasn't invented yet and you could actually create it. Said, whoa, that's awesome. Then I spoke to InventHelp and they told me the price to actually create the product and get it developed. And they said 13,000. I was like, whoa, I don't have that kind of money. And because of that, I kind of just put it off and I let it sit. I said, eventually I'll do it maybe once I get the money and totally put it off. About 6 to 7 years later, I started to see products that were eerily similar to the idea that I thought of years before. I said, I definitely need to do something now. Matter of fact, this idea that I thought of after my initial idea is actually a product on the market now. I said, I got to do something. But when I decided I had to do something, I also had more faith in myself because I've been in Toastmasters, I've spoken in front of many people. They say public speaking is the number one fear. Jerry Seinfeld actually said that if someone's having a funeral, most people would rather be in the casket than reading the eulogy. That's how terrifying public speaking is. And we have a lot of people in Toastmasters here, so I wanted to use that analogy. But I had more confidence at that point. And I did the patent search. It still was a novel idea, which means I could patent it. I got the utility patent, and I thought I needed investors to get the utility patent, but InventHelp, they have a program where you get to do a down payment first and make monthly payments. So that's what I'm currently doing, and I'm thankful that I'm currently working on something that I believe can change the world. And that's big because now I feel like I have something bigger to live for. In the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, he was going through horrendous atrocities because he was actually a Jewish person that was in the Holocaust, and he was in a prison of war camp with his entire family. And in the book, he's going through the most horrific circumstances, but because he held on to his purpose, he was able to actually smile while going through literal hell. And after that, he created his own form of psychotherapy, which is based on purpose. So I'm gonna try my share screen again. Let's see if I could get it this time. Let's see. So I want to show you guys something. Do you guys know who Nikola Tesla is? Nikola Tesla is the greatest genius of our generation. And one thing that he said is, my brain is only a receiver in the universe. There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. A little bit about Nikola Tesla. He was, in my opinion, the greatest genius of our generation. He was able to build entire machines from his mind, created in the real world, and he wouldn't even need a prototype. It would work perfectly as soon as he created it. And he even said that the idea, the inspiration, the knowledge for these inventions came from a source that was not himself. Now, if you've ever taken psychology class, this is often referred to as the subconscious mind, but you can also refer to it as spirit. This is the unconscious mind, as it is known in psychology. In religious texts, it is known as spirit, soul, God, Allah, different things. Now, my purpose here is not to try to convince anyone to join a different religion. I believe this is supplementary information. My belief is that many of these religions that were created were simply created by people that wanted to teach how we could live a better way of life. Buddha said, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. When you feel joy, when you make every decision. It will lead you on the right path. But when you feel fear, anxiety, or other negative issues, it could lead to issues in the future or not being present. But yes, this isn't to change anyone's religion. This is just to show you that many of the teachings in different religions, the ones that weren't distorted, actually points to the truth that is within us. In the Bible, in Luke 17:21, Jesus said to his followers that, "Behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you." And the Bible also said that you are created in the image of God. Now, what does that mean? Created in the image of God. Imagine you have a picture on your computer, right? And you take that picture and you copy that picture. What do you now have? The same exact copy. It is like we are miniature versions of God, the universe. And you can refer to that different names. There's some people that say Allah. In Hinduism, they go by Brahman. Is because Hinduism, they believe in gods and goddesses, but they also believe in one God that supersedes everything, which is very similar to what we learn in Christianity. I grew up as a Christian, but this is to connect with other religions as well, because I believe they all point to one truth. Now, is there proof? How do we prove that this form of consciousness, this being that created us all, is there proof of that? Yes, there's proof. And you find that with our connection to the unconscious mind, to the more infinite mind. First, I want to show you guys something called brainwave frequencies. So let me share my screen again, and I'm going to be explaining what the brainwave frequencies are. So these are the various brainwave frequencies. Can you guys see that? Awesome. All right. We have brainwave frequencies are basically your brains, they emit certain energies, and psychologists can actually track that. They can actually track your brainwave frequencies, and they notice that your perception changes based on the brainwave frequency that you're experiencing. We'll start with beta. Beta is the normal mental state that we're on a regular everyday basis. If you're in school or you're at work, your brain is at the beta wave frequency, and it's about 13 to 35 hertz. Alpha. Alpha is a brainwave frequency that is much slower, but something that I want to share is that when your brainwave lowers in frequency, your access to the unconscious mind increases. When you're more relaxed, have you guys anyone daydream here? When you're daydreaming, your mind is actually in a more alpha state. And how is your creativity when you're daydreaming or novel ideas? Is it enhanced or is it not enhanced? Enhanced, right? Awesome. Theta is when you get even lower in brainwave frequencies, you're at theta. And theta is when you're dreaming, when you're in something called REM sleep. That's when your brain is emitting theta wave frequencies. Anyone have any super cool experiences dreaming? No? I got attacked by a chupacabra before.
I actually was asleep and I swear I felt like I was awake and I can like see and feel everything inside the room, but I was actually asleep. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Similar
I've had
experience.
experiences like that before.
Similar experience as well. It was
Okay.
fall off of buildings.
Ooh, that's scary. Anyone of you guys ever lucid dreamed?
I have.
You've lucid dreamed before?
Yeah.
Did you fly or do anything super amazing like that?
I remember as a kid, I used to I used to have dreams of me swimming in my house. Like
That,
my house was like underwater and I was like swimming.
oh, that's super awesome. Yes, so when you're dreaming, you're actually connected to the unconscious mind. And what a lucid dream is actually when you become conscious that you're in a dream and you could actually control the dream. Anyone else ever experienced that? Okay, well, it is totally fascinating. It's just really like you're in the Matrix when you're in a lucid dream. I've flown, I've spawned cars, I've done amazing things. Delta waves, that's when you're in deep sleep. That's usually you don't really remember too much from delta sleep because you're so deep, but you are actually aware during those times. You just don't remember. And gamma waves, I say gamma for last because that is the brainwave frequency that is associated with insights. It's when all of your brain is working simultaneously and you're able to make connections from different parts of the brain. You ever thought of something that you never thought of before, such as a joke that's really funny that connects information from separate ideas and brings them together? It could be an invention or it could be just something else.
I can agree with that.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes. So when you're having insights like that, your brain is usually operating at gamma frequencies. All right. So that's one way that we know that we are actually connected to a higher source of consciousness. But how else do we know that perhaps there is a higher form of consciousness or even an afterlife? Because spiritual texts, most of them discuss that there is an afterlife, right? Well, there is something called near-death experiences that many people have had. Have any of you guys seen near-death experiences from survivors, people that shared experiences?
I have.
You have? Okay. Awesome. Anyone else? Shivane? Sandy? Near-death experience is another way that we could know that, hey, there is something out there. Because many near-death experiences, they're very similar. People will say that they see a light, a white light, and they'll feel nothing but pure bliss, love, ecstasy. There's also stories of people reconnecting with family members. Some people might say, hey, that's just a hallucination of the brain. They're not actually experiencing these things, but there's so many people that have had these experiences. Actually, there's one account of a woman who had a near-death experience in a hospital bed, and her soul left her body. And she was in the same building, and she was rising up, and she said that she saw a shoe outside in the top of the building. She said there was a shoe placed in a specific spot. And when came back and she told the stories to the nurses and the doctors, they didn't believe her. Therefore, they decided to do what they're going to do and they went and checked. And sure enough, there was actually a shoe in the same spot that she said that there would be a shoe. Pretty remarkable, right? There's also savant syndrome. Has any of you heard of savant syndrome? Savant syndrome. Have you guys heard of Rain Man, the movie? Rain
Uh-huh.
Man was a savant. Now, I just want to paint the picture a little bit for you. Imagine that you spent your entire life, 5 days a week, at least 6 hours a day, learning to play the piano, only for someone to spend a week playing and they're already as gifted as you. How would that make you feel? Like, why did I waste my time? My goodness. And I just got AI, right? But yeah, that's what savants are able to do. There's actually a savant, and I'm going to show a picture, but he, well, basically, let me explain what savant syndrome is. Savant syndrome is sometimes it's a form of autism, but it's people that are only gifted in a very specific domain while they're mentally impaired in almost every area, but that one area, they have almost superhuman abilities in that one area. It's because that one area, they have a lot of mental resources. Their brain devotes a lot of mental resources to that one area, and they have remarkable ability in that area. I'm going to show you this guy who's a savant, and he was able to pencil draw New York City, and he only had a 20-minute helicopter ride over the city, and he was able to draw that. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, remarkable, isn't it? But yes, he was able to paint that with only a 20-minute helicopter ride. I believe Rain Man, he was able to remember days with impressive accuracy. And there's many others. There's many other savants. Actually, there's a tenant we have, and he was telling me a story about this guy that helped mentor him in mathematics when he was at the university. And the guy was extraordinarily intelligent. Matter of fact, he was able to see numbers in real life. And our tenant, his name's Long, he asked the guy, because he met the guy's brother, and he said, "How come you're so smart and your brother is so stupid?" And the gentleman said, "It's actually because when I was a child, I was hit by a car. And after I got hit by the car, when I woke up, I was suddenly able to see everything numerically or mathematically. He was able to see shapes and everything and see numbers. And that car accident actually caused him to have something that's called sudden savant syndrome, where he's suddenly able to have remarkable ability." Now, I'm not saying to go get in a car accident or hit yourself in the head, because sometimes it just doesn't work that way. There's one famous football player, Aaron Hernandez, who was damaged to the head that he became homicidal. But there's very few cases of people that got damaged to the head that had remarkable abilities. Hypnosis and holotropic breathing. Hypnosis and holotropic breathing are both practices that helps people connect with this mind that I'm discussing, which is the unconscious or the subconscious mind. And sometimes I might use those two interchangeably, but they kind of mean relatively the same thing. Hypnosis, there's a hypnosis practitioner that people can have sometimes traumatic experiences that they don't even remember that can affect them. And via hypnosis, these people are able to recall and process those traumatic experiences. And there's also certain plants that can connect people with the unconscious mind. There's many of them. Many of them are medicinal. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but there's a documentary that you guys could watch on it, Fantastic Fungi by Michael Pollan. Oh no, Fantastic Fungi is one of them, and also How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. This goes into some of the plants that helps people connect with the unconscious mind. So now we're going to be talking a little bit about another way that you can connect to the unconscious mind, which is why we're here today, meditation. Before I go into meditation, I want to just say that before you meditate. I don't know if anyone came up with that quote, but that came from my mind originally, because meditation is so remarkable in so many areas. Look at the amount of people nowadays that are on antidepressants. Meditation can help you to feel less depressed. Anti-anxiety medication. I know a lot of people that are on Xanax or Klonopins, but you can just meditate and have the same anti-anxiety, same antidepressant levels as medication. But which one do you think is safer?
Definitely meditation.
Yep, 100%. Definitely meditation.
1,000,000%.
What else is meditation good for? Awareness. I got a question. Are you guys aware of exactly what you were thinking an hour and 5 minutes ago? Why is that?
Because with meditation, once you're in a sitting being, your mind has to be still.
Yes.
When I meditate right now, or I started recently, it's always going fast, thinking something or the other.
Yes. Yes. Did you know that it's estimated that the average human experiences 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day? I mean, isn't that just mind-blowing? How are you going to keep track of all that? Do you have a journal? Can you get a journal and literally write down all your thoughts? You'll be sitting there all day journaling. But meditation helps you to become more aware of those thoughts that you're having in the present moment. Are any of you familiar with the movie? It's called Click with Adam Sandler. All right. Sandy, anyone else? In the movie Click, Adam Sandler goes to Bed Bath and Beyond, and there's a Beyond section. And he goes to the Beyond section, and there's a guy there, and he has this remote. And with this remote, he says you can fast forward, you can pause, you can I don't think you could rewind. No, you couldn't rewind, but you were able to fast forward through things that you didn't like. For example, school, for instance. He was just able to fast forward through school, but he was able to fast forward through his job. But there was one caveat. When he would fast forward, he would stay at his base level, his habituated level. So the habits that he had normalized. If he fast forwarded, he would keep that trajectory. So in the movie, he was basically trying to get a promotion at his job. So he worked a lot of hours and he had a wife that he neglected, but his goal was to make enough money so that way he could spend more time with his wife. But because he found this remote and he just fast forwarded, he continually put his job before his wife, and he fast forwarded into the future where he was the CEO of the company that he wanted to work. He was working for. He was the CEO of the company, very wealthy, but he was fat, overweight, depressed. He lost his physique because he didn't take care of his physique. He put his job before his entire life. And he was divorced from his wife that he cherished and loved. This movie is actually a metaphor for how most people live their life. They live as if they're on autopilot. They're going through their day. Have you had times where you're driving on the way to work and you've driven that road many times and you're constantly in your head while you're driving? You don't even notice the trees. You don't look at the clouds like, wow, that's beautiful. It's actually a metaphor for how many people live their life. They live their life based on programmed habits, habits that are programmed into them based on how other people perceive them, based on the thoughts of others, the ideas of others. And because of that, they're not in the present moment. Meditation helps you to become more aware of your thoughts. That way you can be in the present moment. One more benefit of meditation is flow state. Has anyone heard of flow state or the feeling of being in the zone? Shivane, I know you do marathons, so you definitely love that flow state, huh? Anyone else heard of flow state?
Very much so.
I
Aw-
have.
Awesome. All right. Let's share a story about the first time I actually entered flow state. Well, the first and the second time. The first time I entered flow state, I didn't know anything about meditation at this time. I was a child, actually. I was living in Trinidad and I was playing this Mortal Kombat game, and there was a button combination that I wanted to remember. I don't know what it was. I was 6 or 7, but it was maybe AB plus B. And well, I wanted to memorize that button combination. So I kept repeating that button combination in my head. And I went to play soccer with older kids. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I sucked at soccer. I was fast, but I had no hand-eye coordination. Well, leg-eye coordination, that's a word. I had I couldn't read people. I had no dribbling skills. But for some reason that day, I was playing and nobody can get the ball from me. I was moving like Ronaldo and scoring like Beckham. It was insane. And I remember that experience vividly in my head for quite a period of time, for a very long time. It always bewildered me. And many years later, I was living in New York and I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops. Yes, a video game, but video games are definitely great to tap into flow state. You can tap into flow state with anything. And I'm going to have another webinar where I go more into flow state because flow state is very similar to meditation. Actually, flow state is meditation, but it's meditation in the moment. It's meditation while doing. And we're going to also practice a meditation while we're moving. But the second time I entered flow state, I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops. And again, it was a game it's a shooting game for those of you that don't know. And in this game, I'm just basically average. I wasn't that gifted at the game. But for some reason, during this game, no one could touch me. I mean, I didn't get killed the entire game. And that was the second time. And when you're in flow state, you're actually connected to your unconscious mind. And when you're connected to your unconscious mind, your mind, your body, your soul, everything is in sync. It's as if you have capabilities that you never could have imagined that you would have. If you're playing basketball, you're moving like Jordan. If you're playing soccer, you're scoring like Beckham. And it's almost as if the ability is coming from a source outside you, but this is that spirit, or we have an eternal spirit inside of us that has infinite knowledge, infinite abilities. Just imagine that you're connected to a source that is just perfection, and you're connected and you're tapped into that. This is what meditation can do for us. So I'm going to share some experiences I've had while meditating, because like I said, with meditation, you could tap into information and nothing is created or destroyed. Therefore, and thoughts are a form of energy. So meditation allows you to tap in to a source outside yourself. But I've had many times during meditation where I've had experiences that are somewhat odd. One time I was meditating, my nephew who's actually right over there, he was in my room and he was playing video games and I was meditating and I was deep in meditation. And after about maybe 30 minutes, I could see my nephew sitting in the chair playing PlayStation and my eyes were closed, but I could see everything as if my eyes were actually open. This was pretty strange. Another point, I was meditating, and while I was meditating, this actually happens very often, but while I was meditating, I heard music, and it was music that I've never heard before. It actually confused me because the music sounded as if it was coming from outside of me, but the music was actually coming from inside of me. It was music that I've never heard anywhere before, and it's happened many times. I mean, different types of music. Sometimes it's classical music, sometimes it's EDM, sometimes it's rap. But I'm hearing fully composed masterpieces, all from my subconscious mind. Had one time where I was meditating and it was as if I was in a jungle and there was an African tribe and you could see they had three eyes. But I've had remarkable experiences meditating. I've been meditating for about, I want to say 13 or 14 years now, for a very long time. And at first, when I started meditating, I thought, okay, what am I doing? What is the point of this? This is pointless. But after a period of time, I actually started to get the hang of it, and now it's something that I do every day. I recommend for people that are new to meditation and want to get into it, the best time to meditate is in the morning. Set your alarm for, you can do 5 minutes earlier starting off. Start with 5 minutes earlier. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier and try to meditate for 5 minutes before your actual alarm goes off and you get out of bed and do what you normally do. Also, before you go to sleep, I like to meditate before I go to sleep. Now, the goal of meditation is not to fall asleep, but I noticed that meditation could help you get into a more relaxed state, which can help you to fall asleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, then try meditation out. Meditation is great for helping you to fall asleep. Now, one of the things that I forgot to say about the conscious versus the subconscious mind is that, and meditation helps you connect with the subconscious mind. The conscious mind processes about 7 bits of information a second. It's very limited. That's why you have to really focus your attention. Your conscious mind is only aware of a small amount of information in the present moment, while your subconscious mind is aware of everything. Have you ever had a experience where you suddenly have a flashback, but it's a flashback of something that you didn't remember or think about for years or months? That's usually the subconscious mind bringing that information to to your conscious mind. And basically, you have a conscious mind, which is what your thoughts that you typically have on an everyday basis, a normal basis. And then you have your subconscious mind. And a perfect analogy that I like to use to help people understand the conscious versus the unconscious mind is, imagine that you have a personal computer, right? And your personal computer is not connected to the internet. How much information do you have access to? I see Shandy shaking her head. Probably not a lot of information, right? Not a lot of information, right? You can't download any apps. You can't watch YouTube. You can't go download books. You can't do anything. But now imagine that you are finally connected to the internet. Now, how much access to information do you have?
Too much.
Too much. Yes. But I mean, there's levels to it. You have, remember dial-up, Sandy? I know you remember dial-up.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Sinead, I know you're a little bit younger. Be thankful that you do not have to
That was
remember
horrible.
dial-up. Dial-up was an absolute nightmare. You try to log on if someone was using the phone, you'd hear their phone conversation, and you'd have this terrible startup sound go.
And it took forever.
Yes, it took
If you
forever.
didn't have any patience, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people slammed their computers during those times. I mean, it was just atrocious. But then along came broadband, and broadband changed the game because now you could stream movies and Netflix out at Blockbuster, and now we have fiber optic. Well, there's levels to it. Well, with the conscious mind is similar to having that personal computer not connected to any internet, while connecting to your subconscious or unconscious mind. Your subconscious, unconscious mind is like a cosmic library with all sorts of amazing information. The music that would come to me when I'm meditating, that's coming from the unconscious mind. The invention idea that I'm currently working on, that came from the unconscious mind. You are connected, every single life form, human being. I should say, I don't know if dogs can meditate and well, it'd be cool, right? But you are connected to a cosmic library of information that you can access. Isn't that remarkable? Yes, awesome. So I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit about meditation, and we're going to do various forms of meditation. But I'm going to start with the simplest form, which is just simply to be aware of your breath. So I'm asking all of you, unless you're driving, I see some people that are not showing their cameras. Please don't be driving because I'm not liable. If you are, you can pretend you're driving a spaceship if you want, but to start, I want you to just get in a comfortable position. Be very comfortable. You don't have to sit cross-legged like the monks do. They're very flexible. I'm not. Just get very comfortable. Sit with your back straight and close your eyes. Now, I want you to simply become aware of your breath. I want you to listen to your breath. I want you to feel the air as it comes into your lungs. I want you to feel the pause between the breath. And I want you to exhale and feel the exhalation and the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. I want you to put your entire awareness on your breath. You know that little voice in your head that is distracting? If you notice that voice saying things such as, "What am I doing? This is annoying. I'm tired. I'm just going to go to sleep." If you hear that voice, I want you to not become upset. That is natural. Just shift your awareness back to the breath. And we will begin. If you notice your awareness is shifted, shift your awareness back to your breath. Your awareness is shifted, shift your awareness back to the breath. Center yourself, focus on your breath. Turn your awareness back to the meeting. How does everyone feel?
Relaxed.
Relaxed, awesome. How you feeling, Sandy?
Um,
Calm, awesome. Nisi?
I'm feeling I feel loose and like energetic. I feel like I could go for a walk right now.
Oh, really? Wow. Oh. That brings me to another point that is awesome about meditation. I'm going to share different things that meditation could be helpful with, and I'm going to share different forms of meditation. But meditation is actually better at helping to restore our energy levels than deep sleep. They say meditation from research is 2 to 5 times more restorative than deep sleep. So if you're ever feeling super tired at work and you have a break, you could just meditate for 10 to 15 minutes and you'll feel much more refreshed. Shivane, something because I personally know you like to do marathon runs. Meditation is amazing for when you're running. Amazing. Actually, something really cool I want to share about meditation while performing an activity is I always had lower endurance compared to others. I had poor endurance growing up, and I would do hit training at my gym. I would work out and I would go on the stair stepper and I would do hit training. And what is hit training? It's high intensity interval training. It's where you go at a high intensity, and once you're tired of that high intensity, you go to a lower intensity and you repeat the process. And while I was actually exercising at this high intensity, I realized that if I put all my focus into my breathing, meaning all my focus, I couldn't be focusing on my breathing and having a thought like, oh man, I'm hungry, or I'm tired of working out. No, my entire awareness was solely on my breathing, which is the object of meditation, or at least the basic form of meditation. But when I put my entire awareness on my breathing, I realized that I could stay at this high intensity indefinitely. Indefinitely, Shavane. Not, okay, 2 minutes. I could actually stay at that high intensity. But if my mind got distracted to something else, I had to slow down. So that will help you definitely with your marathon and doing plank. I mean, you have to meditate while doing that, but when you put all your focus on your breathing, it'll allow you to perform at higher levels.
Yeah, something I got on recently, meditation. So
Oh,
that
okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. What is meditation? I'm going to go into different forms of meditation in a little bit, but I like the terminology that Michael Beckwith used. He's actually a life coach, a transformational life coach. He was actually in the documentary The Secret. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It's a great documentary, but they don't really go into the science of it. I like going into the science of spirit, but meditation, what it is, it's paying full attention to reality. For example, you guys are on this Zoom chat with me right now. What is your leg doing? What's You weren't conscious of it just a minute ago, right? But now that I mentioned that, you're actually conscious of it. So let's go ahead and do a different form of meditation. There's many forms of meditation. I like the breath because that's the one I started with, but there's many forms of meditation. You could actually meditate by just concentrating on a candle flame if you wanted. You could meditate while dancing, but you just want to make sure that you focus fully on the movement. You could meditate doing anything, but another form of meditation that I like is actually shifting your awareness to different points of your body. So we're gonna go ahead and do that one. So I want you to close your eyes and get in a comfortable position. And relax. Now, I want you to place your awareness on the tip of your toes. Now, I'd like you to shift your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Now shift your awareness to your shins. Now shift your awareness to your knees. Now shift your awareness to your thighs. Now shift your awareness to your hips. Place your awareness on your abs. Feel the breath going in and out. Now place your awareness on your chest and feel the air going into your chest. Now place your awareness on your throat. Now place your awareness on your forehead, right between your eyebrows. Now place your awareness at the tip of your head. Now return awareness to the present moment. Also, so what's another area where awareness can come in handy? Because with meditation, we're actually training our awareness. This is essentially awareness training. How about driving? How easy it is to make a mistake driving. Or let's say that, and this is how it's important to be able to control our mind. Meditation helps us to be able to control our mind. What happens if you're running late to an event? You start speeding, right? You start speeding, you might be cutting people off. But is it safer to do that or is it more dangerous? Is it better to be a few minutes earlier or have the risk of a car accident? So meditation can help us to become more aware in the moment. Sometimes, like the other day, I was driving to work and I was possibly running late, but while I was driving, I could actually feel the urge to step on the gas and just move it. I got a V6 car, it moves. I actually could feel the urge to start speeding. But with my awareness, I was able to say, hey, it's more dangerous to speed. It's not good to be in a rush. And I was able to actually return myself to a state of calm. How about another time? I'm using driving examples because this is something we do on a regular basis. But sometimes you're driving and there's someone and they decide to cut you off, right? How much road rage accidents happens because of that? A lot. But road rage is actually very dangerous. And with meditation or your ability to be aware of your mind, sometimes when people cut me off, I don't get upset anymore. I just say, hey, I'm thankful that I was able to stop my car and not get into an accident. But sometimes I'll have someone cut me off and I just say, hey, maybe their girlfriend is pregnant and they're trying to get to the hospital, or maybe they're trying to help someone out of a tough situation. I just try to think of it that way because that helps to keep me in a state of calm. And we operate more effectively when we're in a state of peace and calm. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're, let's say you're playing basketball, if you're stressed out and you're anxious, a little thing about stress is when you're stressed out, it actually shifts blood away from your brain into your adrenaline system, which is the fight or flight response. Therefore, you might be faster when you're having adrenaline. You might be a little bit stronger, but you don't think as effectively because blood is being diverted from your brain to things that could help you run faster or be stronger. And currently in the United States, we have a chronic stress problem. People are, Canada too, I'm sure, just in Western society in general, people are chronically stressed out. And when you're chronically stressed out, chronic stress is actually one of the most dangerous epidemics in this country that people are not even aware of. Because what happens when you're stressed out? Well, first, let me explain what the point of stress is. Stress is a physiological response meant to help people survive. One second. Okay, I just seen people were in the waiting room. Yeah, stress is a physiological response meant to actually help people survive. And when is it useful? Let's imagine that you're in the jungle, right? You're in the jungle and there's a tiger. That fight or flight response is going to help you to run away from the tiger, even though you're not fast enough, you're going to get eaten anyway. But the stress response is meant to help us survive, fight or flight. Now, how many people actually live in a jungle nowadays? Not very many. We actually live in a very good society. We don't have to worry about the dangers that we had in the past. But what are things that we stress out about nowadays? Oh, I'm scared that my boss is gonna not my boss is gonna be mad at me today because I'm 5 minutes late. So now we're stressed out about that. Or we're stressed out about, oh, this person didn't call us back, or we didn't make that sale that we wanted to make. And a lot of times we're stressed out and stuff hasn't even happened yet. We're living in the past thinking about what's happened to us, or we're stuck in the future. We're stuck thinking about the future and we're not actually in the present moment. But in the present moment is when we have the most power. Why do mistakes happen? Mistakes happen as a result of not being in the present moment. If you're actually, let me give you guys an example. I have ADD, which actually stands for attention deficit disorder, as I like to call it, a dimwit distracted. That's what I like to call it. But I've had many times where I made mistakes because I wasn't in the present moment. For example, one time I went to Orlando and I was downtown Orlando and I had a good time partying, having fun. And afterwards, we're looking for my car. I cannot find my car. I spent over 2 hours looking for my car downtown Orlando, gone, nowhere to be found, right? But
Right in front of you.
it wasn't right in front of me. Actually, all I remembered was that there was a lake and I had 2% battery. So finally I decided, hey, I can't find my car. Let's call an Uber. Called an Uber. After we called the Uber, my phone died. So we had to actually walk around looking for the Uber. And once we got the Uber, I was able to find my car. Another situation that was embarrassing, but caused by lack of awareness, was I was working at Collins Aerospace at the time. This was 2016, and I didn't have one of those cool key fobs that locks and unlocks your car. And I was at work and I wanted to go to my car on lunch. So I went to my car and I realized I don't have my keys. Where are my keys? Look through my window. My keys are right there. Thank God I got AAA. Call AAA up and you get 3 locksmiths or pop locks with AAA, right? So I called AAA. The guy came in his orange Chevy and unlocked my car. Okay, cool. About 2 days later, I'm at LA Fitness. Guess what? I locked my keys in my car again. Second time in a week. Okay, guess who comes back? The same guy from AAA came back to unlock my car. 2 days later, at my job again, locked my keys in my car again. So I'm there, called AAA. That was my third lockout in a week. And I'm just sitting there for the guy and I'm praying, please don't be the same guy. Please don't be the same guy. Same exact guy came. I said, oh man, this is embarrassing, isn't it? He said, listen, man, it's people like you that keep me in business. So that's real life story of what can be a result of lack of awareness. But now I'm actually doing a lot better because I pay attention to everything. I try to keep my keys in the right spot because I've had so many times that I was late because I couldn't find my keys for work or my phone or things of that nature. But meditation just helps you to become more aware of the present moment. I'm going to share another form of meditation with you guys. This one is called transcendental meditation. Oh, I see Patricia showing how she keeps her keys. Yeah, I got a wallet with that too. I actually have a wallet with a chain on it after I lost my wallet at a gas station with about $300 cash in there. I keep a wallet with a chain on there now. Yeah, I'm bad. My ADD is severe, but it's okay because I discovered meditation and that helps me out a lot. But this form of meditation is called transcendental meditation. It's a little bit different. Actually, my dad was the one that told me about transcendental meditation, and I was really intrigued with learning transcendental meditation. But when I looked for transcendental meditation school, they said that they cost anywhere around $1,500 or something like that to learn transcendental meditation. So I just went online and I kept searching, and I discovered something called transcendental meditation. And I'm going to be sharing how to perform transcendental meditation today. The difference between transcendental meditation and regular meditation is you're going to chant a mantra at first. The one that I'm going to use, that's the one typically used when teaching, is Om. So what you're going to do is you're going to say Om, 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 and you're going to constantly repeat it, Om, 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 and then you're going to say it softer and softer, Om, 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 Om. And then you're going to stop saying it, and what's going to happen is that mantra is going to repeat in your head and you just want to be aware of that mantra as it repeats in your head. So that's a form of meditation that I'd like to show you guys. So you guys can stay muted, but we're gonna actually perform this meditation. So I want you guys to just say Om, 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 and get to the point where you're whispering it. Om, 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 and just stop and see if you can hear it repeating in your head. So let us begin. Om, 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 Om. Right, shift your awareness back to the present moment. And I'm going to show you one more meditation. When I did this in person, I actually did a walking meditation, but because we're on Zoom, we're going to do a moving meditation, but I want you to, in your own time, because I'm going to give you guys homework. I'm not going to check your homework. I'm not going to grade your homework because I'm too lazy, but still giving you homework. And the homework is to actually perform meditation, to practice meditation. But I want you to try a walking meditation. We're going to do a movement meditation, but on your own time, I want you to perform a walking meditation where you're simply aware of only walking. You're not having that voice in your head talking, telling you suck at life and all the bad stuff that voice in your head tells you. Just be present. But we're going to do a moving meditation because moving meditation helps us when we're truly tapped in to connect with source and have exceptional abilities in many areas. So I just want you to do a wave with your hands and just focus only on the wave. You could do like this too if you want, but just do a wave like this. Bring your hand up and down and go very slow, very slow. And I want you to be conscious of only your hands moving. And if you hear that voice in your head, return your awareness back to your hands moving. All right. Anyone have any cool experiences? I'll share mine. So when I first started doing it, Siobhan, you wanted to say something?
You could feel it, like the sense of movement.
Yeah. So when I first started, I was only focusing on my biceps and my forearms. But as I started doing it more and more, I started feeling it more in my shoulders, and I became conscious of the movement in my shoulders. And then I just started moving my back too because it just felt more fluid. Just putting my focus only on the movement helped me to actually become more conscious of the movement of my shoulders and also my back. So I'm going to open it up for questions soon, but I just wanted to give you guys a recap. The subconscious and unconscious mind is where you find the seat of your soul, your spirit. In science and psychology, it's referred to as the subconscious and the unconscious mind because for some reason science does not want to acknowledge what ancient masters such as Buddha and Christ have been teaching us for so long. But they do have a terminology for it, which is called the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is basically a cosmic library filled with inspiration, ideas, music, anything creative comes from the unconscious mind because according to the law of thermodynamics, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Therefore, anytime you have a new idea, it's coming from somewhere, which is source. Source is what some people refer to as God, Allah, Brahman, depending on your religion, but it is real. And for those of you that weren't there at the beginning, I'm actually working on an invention, and this invention actually came to me from source while I was just sitting on an airplane board. And this is something that we could all tap into. If you're any type of artist, meditation is great because it can help connect you with this source. If you're a dancer, meditating while you're dancing, you'll be able to perform movement that you've never even thought of. It is just absolutely remarkable what meditation can truly do for you. It's the best antidepressant that's actually been proven. Meditation is better at helping depression than antidepressants. It helps with anxiety. If you're suffering from anxiety, meditation is amazing at helping with anxiety. And if you're even speaking, Sandy, Shivane, anyone in Toastmasters, Victor, meditation can actually help you to become a better speaker because you're going to be more aware in the moment. If you're speaking, but you're thinking about what's next or how you messed up on a line, that's going to take you out of the present moment and you're going to start stumbling. You're going to start stuttering. You're going to have double crutches. But if you're fully aware, in tune, in the moment, you are much less likely to make a mistake. And that's not only for speaking, that's for any activity that you could do. Even if it's video games, meditation, just being in the moment can help you with video games as well. So let's meditate and let's all become mindset masters. All right, I'm going to open it up for questions. We're almost at the end. Shivane?
So I started recently, right?
Yeah.
What I'll do.
Huh?
So I started recently meditation, right?
Yeah.
And I have the issue of, I think you've been through the same thing, is in the present moment. So how do
Yeah.
you tackle that?
Yeah.
How do you tackle that?
It takes practice. I've been meditating for about 13 years, and what really helped me out was not beating myself up when I'm meditating and I lose focus of what I'm supposed to be focusing on. It's not beating myself up because what happens when you start beating yourself up is emotions get involved and that stress response comes. When you become angry in any way, shape, or fashion, you evoke that stress response. And that stress response is going to put you into more of a physically anxious state because your emotions is actually having a physical response. Sometimes when you're stressed out, you can feel your muscles tighten up. So don't become angry or agitated. Just be thankful that you actually caught yourself while you went onto a train of thought with that voice in your head. Let's just say that. I'm going to be doing more sessions where we talk about this, but don't become upset. Just simply be thankful. Hey, I caught myself and return your awareness back to the present moment. And it's habitual. when the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So just keep practicing, and sometimes it's okay that you're back in your regular frame of mind for a little bit. That's perfectly fine. But give yourself that grace that, hey, I'm human, I made a mistake, but I'm gonna get back to it. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I mean, I still sometimes I'll meditate and I'll be meditating and I'll just have my mind daydreaming rather than actual meditating. Meditating is different from dreaming, and my mind will just be going off on tangents. And sometimes that happens, but one thing that I noticed about meditation is if you really want to get into those deep states of meditation, like I told you about, where you tap into music and you have beautiful visuals, different things like that, for the first 5 minutes, you have to really focus. I mean, you have to, in depth, just say, hey, I'm gonna, like, it's kind of almost like you force yourself to just keep focusing on your breath. If you do that for just the first 5 minutes, it gets a lot easier and you just ride that wave. All right. Any other questions?
Victor.
Yes.
So I've been reading the book, The Art of Living.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
Is that Thich Nhat Hanh?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. He has my
I
birthday.
took his class. I like but one thing in there that he said resonated with me.
Mhm.
Think of your breath as a violin. Whenever you breathe in, it's going down. You know, like the bow is going across. Whenever you breathe out, it's
Yeah.
coming back. I
Okay.
started thinking about that, and now every time I hear violin music, I instantly calm down.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But like that, also he had a quote in there that said, "You never put your toe in the same river twice."
Yeah,
Think
because the
about it.
river is always oh,
The
can you
river's
explain it?
moving. So
Hmm.
like the past is gone by the time you put your toe back in the water again.
Yeah.
It's like I've always been stuck in the past.
Okay.
And it's like when you think of that, you sit there and you think, okay, well, remember, you never put your toe in the same water twice. I'm able to like move forward instead of
Yeah.
look backwards.
Oh, okay. That's
But like
beautiful.
the violin music, think of your breath as like a violin. The bow goes like this and then like this.
Yeah.
Like it's a figure eight, just like your breath.
Yeah.
And then I put on violin music. It was like instant calm because I used to work on the phones with in timeshare where
Yeah.
people just scream at you. I would put that on all day long, and
Hmm.
I was calm and cool as a cucumber. People screaming at me. I'm like, "Are you done yet?" Whereas before I had that, it was like, "Get me out of here. I can't
Yeah.
handle this."
That's awesome.
So,
I'll definitely have to start thinking of that analogy because I use anything to help me focus. Sometimes I can't meditate, and what I'll do is I'll actually count down from, or maybe count up. Like I'll just start counting, and that helps me to actually stay more focused in the present moment. So if thinking of a violin helps you, that's
yeah,
awesome. I'm definitely down to try that. Anyone
it's
else have any questions or things they wanted to share?
this book is on Amazon for like $10. The Art of Living.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have that on my Audible. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
book I wanted to share with you that's really good for all of you on meditation and just, the unconscious mind, but it's called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Has anyone heard of it? Okay, The
Mm-mm.
Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. That book is revolutionary and he goes into meditation, but also the benefits of it. And there's another one, I think you would really enjoy this one, Shavain, because it's actually read by the author, but it's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Yep.
Write it down though.
Huh?
Right. What's it called?
It's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty.
He used to be one.
Yeah, yeah, he used to be a monk. And he actually reads the book in his voice, and he's British, so he has a
But
British voice.
like I even helped her move a little bit. But but before she was here, like Deborah, someone got her own.
I think he was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? We're almost done over here. This was
Mhm.
awesome. I just want to thank you guys.
Who wrote The Untethered Soul?
Michael A. Singer.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
All right, awesome. So before I leave, I just want to share that I am doing this for free, but I am accepting love donations. I will. So if anyone, and it doesn't have to be now, because I actually want you guys to meditate and feel how amazing that the meditation is. But if you want, just ask me and I'll share my Venmo with you guys. And I'm going to be looking to do this more often. There's going to be different topics. I might do this same one next week because there's a good bit of people that couldn't make this one, so I'm going to see if they can make another one. But I'm going to be going into different aspects of the mind that are important, such as how to create habits. I'm going to have one where I go deeper into flow state about how remarkable flow state is. And also, I'm going to have one on speed reading. I don't know if you guys ever heard of speed reading.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna have one on speed reading where we're gonna be practicing and developing speed reading. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing this. And I just want to thank you all for joining and being here with me today. This was my first webinar, and I thought that it went great. So you guys are awesome. Eat
You know Edith Tinkin?
it thinking, yes, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's a good reference if you ever need anything, because that's what she does. She's a neuroplasticist.
She's a, what is it?
A neuroplasticist. I can't even say it. But
Neuroplasticity.
yeah, that's what she is. That's what
Oh,
she
okay.
does. So if you ever need information, that's the person. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting her during conference. Her and Donald are great. They're a
she's
duo.
teaching Donald how to take over part of her business.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
yeah, she owns Smart Brains.
Yeah.
Smart Brain.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. I'm connected with her, so I'm thankful for that. Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. It was definitely a pleasure. And you guys stay awesome. And let me know how if you have any awesome experiences with meditation. All right. All
You're
right.
Magical
welcome. Thank
day.
you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Have a magical day.
I will. Thank you.
You did great.
Thank
Did
you.
great.
You're welcome.